All right. I don't know if you guys remember, but we did a quick little platform project for just a little chill area. But anyways, between the dog running over the hillside and the child and a little bit of privacy, just a scooch of privacy, we're going to do a very quick fencing project, I guess, because it's not really a fence. It's really more of a trellis, like a wire trellis. So that we're gonna make real quick. But anyways, this dirt's really soft. So I don't need this to be structurally sound. As far as I don't care if anybody leans against it, because nobody's gonna be leaning against it. I just need it to hold in place long enough for Trumpet Vine to take and for there to be a bit of a visual. Just like a visual barrier. Usually visual barriers work better than physical barriers. People feel like they can climb on physical, but if you give them something visual, they usually don't climb on it or lean on it. So anyways, that being said, we're using the ends of the sucker rod here. I have a bunch of sucker rod left over from my fencing project, and so these are the end pieces. So I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm going to take the sucker rod, the length of it. I'm going to set one post that I like. I'm going to rest it on the end, and I'm going to hold this piece up. Okay. Now, if you look, depending on where I move it, depends on where my fence lands. Okay. So I'm going to go like this. All right. Got a second piece. Now I'm just going to hold it against the end and set it. Hand set it, okay? But if you look, that's just beyond my handset. You see? And so we're not going to set those real deep, but we are going to do that each time with the same piece of measuring rod. So we'll use the same rod. We'll come over here. We'll rest it on the end. We'll take our second piece and we'll hold it vertically. Find where we're going to land it. We'll set it. And then we'll do that to each one of these. Once you start forming up your posts, once you get all those all the way across, what we're going to do is we're going to set a string between this one and wherever it ends, between that one and that one. We're not going to touch the strings to any of these. Okay, this is kind of a bow anyways, so we wouldn't be able to do it like that. But I can just kind of get down, lower my perspective to the string to kind of get a rough gauge on where the middle ones are going to land. I'll tie it with wire in a couple places, or maybe some hemp rope or something like that, burlap rope or whatever's there, garden rope, and then we'll tie a couple rungs up, just create a visual, and then we'll plant trumpet vine all along that so it starts real fast. The first year's already got a post. Each one gets a post on the first year, and then eventually it'll grow in, and it'll be the roots, and it'll be the trunk, and it'll be everything else that holds all of this in place. I mean, hypothetically, you get far enough, you should just be able to go funk and pull your posts up, if you get hypothetically far enough. So, I mean, trumpet vine will grow pretty rigid if you give it long enough. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to set all these, find a quick level, and then come back with some rope or wire. All right, bye. All right, we're back. We got all the posts set roughly where we want them. We got a string tied from that end one to that end one. Okay. And then, so we've got a string level here and an actual level over there. So if you come over here and look, if it'll ever zoom in, definitely not level. So neither is this. Okay. So just so you know what I'm going to be doing, since I got to bring this post down anyways, all these posts down, I'm going to use this as my opportunity, just because remember, these are hand pressed in. So I'm gonna adjust them till I find a level. Then I'll kind of like compact it in a little bit, or just hold it while I hammer. Okay? But whenever you check these, you got to check them from two sides. Somewhere in there, it's going to talk to you. See? But the whole point being is, you want to check them from at least two sides. Like one right here that'll tell you this, and so you pull them over, and then to make sure you got this other one, you do it like this, you know, on this side. You see? And so you go boonk and boonk as you're tapping this guy in. And as we tap, I'm going to check this string level, which I'm going to keep about middle. Okay? Once I got these two set, I'll call that one my done one. And then I'll move over and maybe move the string onto this one, then move it onto this one, and move it onto this one. Okay, I mean, and then you could cross-reference that by moving that one over to here and then start doing all of those that way too, or work off of that one and double check them all that way. Now, it's not that important. It doesn't need to be precise. This isn't rocket science. You know, we're not bonding chemicals, we're binding dirt. So, anyways, come back later. All right, first string, level, and level. So we're going to move that end to this post, drive it down until that one's level, and we'll be double checking every post with that level. Alrighty, level. There it is. Level. Level. We're going to hammer it here. Alright, level. 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 Repeat. Alrighty, level. 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 Okay, all these have been compacted in. They're all at roughly the same height. Ended up being a pretty big bow. Normally you would just lay one from one end to the other, and then just be careful about lining your string to the same spot every time. I mean, lining your post to the string in the same spot every time. You know, normally you do it to the outside, do your string to the outside of the fence, and then that way you can just kind of rest your fence right up next to the string. And then that'll give you a good line all the way across, you know. So anyways, next up, rope or something. All right, guys, we're going to use manila rope. It's, I don't know how much you can see about it, but it's kind of like a multi-color, you know, natural fiber. You know, it's got like that old kind of rope feel. So anyway, that's what we're gonna use. See how far this goes. Okay, now do a second rung. All right, y'all. I don't know if you can see it too well, but get the yucca. Grass is growing in nice. There's some really cool purple flowers growing in already. But there we are. So it only kind of takes a minute. But look, y'all, it ain't always got to be some $1,000 stuff. I mean, this cord was like $5. You know, these ends, you know, a different purchase, but they're leftovers. Point is it was leftovers. They were uniform and size I needed. So, ooh, look at that. Already got shadows. That's nice. So now I'm going to run in and plant in a bunch of trumpet at the base of all these and let the trumpet take their effect. And we'll see those later this year. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.